Homeroom. I'm Coco Bratton.
And I'm Brett Robinson, here to take you on a video visit to the Norman Public Schools for the week of November 7th through the 11th.
It's election time across the country, as well as in the Norman Public Schools, as schools across the district observe and study the election, as well as hold mock elections in their school.
To learn more about the election, Central Mid-High will have a Freedom of Choice Day on November 7th, featuring speakers and debates. Then on Election Day, Central will have a watch party from 7 to 10 p.m.
As Thanksgiving approaches, students at Adams will be studying Indians and Pilgrims as part of their preparation for a mock Thanksgiving feast.
The second graders at Adams will be getting some real hands-on experience as they taste, smell, and touch some fun and interesting things in their science classes while studying interaction of the senses.
Students at Cleveland will be getting lots of theater as the Cimarron Circuit Opera Company presents Snow White in the gym. The program is sponsored by the Cleveland PTA.
Then on November 8th, drama students from Norman High will be presenting a program to the second grade Cleveland class at 2:15.
During October and November, fifth graders at Eisenhower will be saying it straight as they practice communication skills and dealing with peer pressure as part of the Say It Straight program.
Students at Eisenhower are learning to beware as Mitchell Traw, a visiting teacher, helps the students in Miss Tabor's class analyze commercials. They'll see how advertisers try to influence people into buying their product.
Start saving your pennies to help Lincoln students and the Norman Train Depot. Students at Lincoln are learning about community support by participating in a fundraiser for the depot. The pennies that students bring in will be used to buy bricks for the depot restoration project.
The third graders at Lincoln are seeing stars. U.S. Coast Guard officer Harvey Langholt will speak to the third graders about the planets and constellations, and students will be provided with telescopes November 15th.
The students at Madison are looking forward to visiting us here at the Video Resources Studio. Throughout the course of the year, each fifth grade class in the district will come to the studio to learn about the technology behind television, as well as the process of making programs. Each student gets to help in writing and producing a public service announcement. Be sure and keep an eye out for these productions between regular programming on Channel 29.
Students at Norman High can get help with their homework by calling the NHS Homework Hotline at 360-0220 on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday evenings between 7 and 9 p.m. A certified teacher will be available through the hotline to help you with your homework problems. The hotline will also be available from October 25th through December 16th. And then we'll start up again in January. Keep watching Homeroom for further details.
Congratulations to Monroe Elementary School and their pumpkin. The Monroe Pumpkin won the Phone-In Pumpkin Beauty Pageant on Halloween night. The Monroe Pumpkin received over 50 votes to put it into first place. Thanks to everyone who submitted pumpkins and to all those who phoned in their votes.
Here at Channel 29, there's another week worth of exciting programs. Start each day with Channel 29, April Gandy, and students from Eisenhower Elementary as we begin our programming with opening exercises at 8 a.m.
Following opening exercises each morning, you can join us for Homeroom, which is repeated each day at 4 p.m. Then at 4:15, tune in for free advice as the Norman High counselors review scholarship applications and deadlines, as well as testing deadlines and other timely concerns.
At 4:30, it's time for Study Buddies. With Thanksgiving getting closer, Study Buddies will present the series Pilgrims to the West. This week, the series begins with Altars on the Sand, a look at the mission system that the Spaniards used as they marched through into North America.
At 5, it's time to slop the kids on Truth or Derv. Host Lance Boyle and Alma Mater will again be dishing out gruel to 7th grade middle school students. This week, Longfellow and Whittier square off for more fast food fun that's fit for the whole family.
No, and I don't want to talk about it, but if anybody knows how to remove tattoos, would you call me at the station?
5:30, it's the season premiere of Capital Ideas, the place where area educators and legislators get a chance to meet. Former legislator Lee Cate hosts the show as he and students from Longfellow Middle School interview State Representative John Lasseter.
Host Jim Murphy will take the stand at 6 for class action. This week, Jim interviews Whittier teacher Gloria Hamlin and Longfellow teacher Rima Ellison as he finds out about teaching in the field with Whittier's School Out of Doors program and Longfellow's Environmental Awareness program.
At 6:30, watch Tiger Den for the presidential election coverage from the high school. You'll also see how Operation School Bell and Adopt a Family provide clothes and food to needy Normanites. Then you'll get a closer look at show choir and lots more, including Tiger Talk with Diane Ward.
Small Talk begins at 7, also with a different show each week. On Monday, you'll get a look at the Video Resources Studio. On Tuesday and Wednesday, hosts John Scroggins and Sherry Burton will teach you about learning modalities. Thursday's edition will be a demonstration of math skills you can teach your child at home, and on Friday, you'll get an in-depth look at McKinley Elementary School, which recently received national recognition. That's all on Small Talk at 7.
At 7:30, Scorecard enters your living room as hosts Byron Baker and Eric Mitchell take you into the world of sports at Norman High and OU. This week, Norman High graduate Dean Blevins will discuss his life as a sportscaster and his days at Norman High. Don't forget, Scorecard airs live on Monday nights, so you can call in all of your sports questions.
At 8 o'clock, it's lights out for the little ones. But before they retire for the evening, be sure they get a bedtime story from Channel 29. On Monday night, they can receive the bike lesson.
On Tuesday, it's Ping the Duck waddles into the studio.
On Wednesday, it's the Thinks.
Thursday night's exciting as Rover sleeps over.
Then on Friday, they can hear about Care and Share at 8 o'clock on Bedtime Story.
At 8:05 after Bedtime Story, John Clinton probes the fine arts in the Norman Public Schools as he introduces you to Central's vocal music teacher, Tony Gonzalez, on Underscore. Then at 8:30 on Prodigy Place, you can see the Adams third grade production of Baby Grape's Adventures in Weirdland.
And as always, you can check the Blue Board on Channel 29 for all program listings and times.
It's Homogenized Milk Week in the Norman Public Schools this week. Monday, you can have Tony's sausage pizza, seasoned green beans, combination salad with dressing, a frozen juice bar, and homogenized milk.
On Tuesday, they'll be serving up a tostada with meat sauce, shredded cheese with lettuce, chilled applesauce, cinnamon roll, and homogenized milk.
Then on Wednesday, it's a cheeseburger on a bun with mustard, tater tots and ketchup, marinated tomato wedges with cucumbers, a chocolate chip cookie, and homogenized milk.
Thursday, we'll bring steak fingers, whipped potatoes with gravy, steamed mixed vegetables, fruited gelatin, a hot dinner roll, and homogenized milk.
Closing out the week on Friday is a chicken patty on a bun, French fries with ketchup, a sunshine salad with carrots and pineapple, an ice cream cup, and homogenized milk.
This week's teacher feature introduces you to Central History teacher Sandy Bayhan, who does much more than just teach, as you'll see on this week's teacher feature.
Central Mid-High history teacher Sandy Bayhan has a very hectic schedule. A graduate of Wesleyan University, she also did undergraduate work at Stony Brook in New York as well as the University of Wisconsin. Miss Bayhan received her master's degree from Illinois State University and then began teaching in a small town in Illinois called Oakdale, where she remained for 2 years.
I don't know that I can point at something specific that got me interested in teaching. It's just I like working with kids. I like helping. I felt real strongly about some things that needed to be communicated, and teaching seemed to be the best way to do that.
While attending law school at the University of Kansas, Bayhan got involved with coaching women's basketball as well as women's golf. 7 years ago, Sandy moved to Oklahoma to begin teaching and coaching. With such a busy schedule, you'd think that it would be very difficult for her to continually teach and coach. Well, you'd be absolutely right.
Only to the extent that it takes time away from me. I feel real pressure, particularly during the season, to do both well. There doesn't seem to be enough time to do it all. I'm constantly scampering to pull it all together. I don't ever totally feel like I'm prepared for one or the other. It's the hardest part. And I try very hard to keep the two things separate. In the classroom, on the floor, I try to be a coach when it's time to coach and a teacher when it's time to teach. And there are so many things I like to do connected to the teaching end of it. That coaching is something that I do for fun, and when it ceases to be fun, I won't do it any longer.
Sandy says that she always feels a little flustered by it all, but she still enjoys it too much to give up anything. Although she does say that teaching comes before everything else, and she has no desire to move to a higher level of coaching.
I don't see myself ever leaving the classroom. I enjoy it too much. It gives too much back to me. I have times when I think I would like to be a department chair or a curriculum specialist, sometimes even an assistant principal on the curriculum end of it. There are times when I think I would like to get into the educational division of a university program to help prepare teachers, because I have some real strong feelings about what teachers need to be able to do when they come into the classroom, even as new teachers. But I don't see myself ever totally leaving the classroom. I don't want to.
Thanks for watching Homeroom. Be sure to join us next week for news from the Norman Public Schools.
For Brett Robinson, I'm Coco Bratton. Have a good week.